And welcome to the Barry Foster Show, coming to you from the Ridge Floor Studios in the City of Charm, beautiful downtown Avon Park. As always, if you have any thoughts, ideas, or suggestions for the program, you can put them in the comments below. Or, of course, you can just send us an email at thebarryfostershow@gmail.com. And if you need floral arrangements for any occasion, Ridge Florist is the place to go. Nell's been doing this for almost 70 years, almost 7 decades. Since 1963, Nell's been doing this. And birthdays, funerals, anniversaries, whatever kind of celebration, or just for no reason in particular. Guys, if you want to make big marks with your girl, give her flowers for no reason in particular. And the best place to go is to Ridge Florist, 111 Memorial Drive, just north of the intersection of Memorial and the Parkway in beautiful Sebring, Florida. And tell them Barry sent you by. This is the last day of the year, and I wanted just to take a little time to kind of look back on the beginning of the Barry Foster Show. It was back in May of 2024. I stepped away from the radio, and I was gone for about 7 months, and people kept saying, Barry, we'll miss you on the radio. We wish we could hear you. My friend Buzzy Roberts kept saying, you need to start a podcast. I really didn't want to start a podcast. But finally, early this year, I broke down and said, maybe I should go back on the internet. And I looked around, and I found a platform that I thought was going to work. And I worked with them just a few short episodes. It didn't really kind of work out the way I wanted it to work out. And so finally, I just decided to do it myself. And I had a small rig with just a portable microphone, and I was doing it into the telephone. My friends told me, oh, look at all these podcasters just do it on their phone in their cars. You can just go ahead and do this. So I got a small, inexpensive microphone and plugged it in my phone. And the first episode I did was March the 24th, called Episode 0. And I went back and I kind of explained my decision to leave and explained my decision to go back on the air. And it was okay, but then I began to kind of experiment with the equipment and started the development of an actual YouTube channel. I went out and I bought a pile mixer, and I got some microphones, and I got my kind of my audio together and learned how to use it. I was always a pretty good talk show host. Then I became an engineer. I would say there was something wrong with the equipment, and they'd send somebody in to fix it. Well, turned out I was going to be the guy to fix it. So I got the equipment, and the second episode wasn't until April the 14th. And that was actually the first episode from Ridge Florist. We did a Florida fun travel with my wife, Sandra, about our trip to Cherry Pocket. And we started talking about, it was one of the series that we did, and we've done a number of places that we've gone now as Florida Fun Travels.
Well, we went to Cherry Pockets with our friend Gina,
Mm-hmm.
and it was sort of a getaway for her and for us. Just sort of a relaxing long drive and sitting out, walking around the area there.
It kind of set the tone because I was looking for ways to replicate my radio show, to do audio only, and many podcasters I've been watching, they say, I have news for all you guys that are spending all this time making sure your sets are right and making sure everything is video pleasing on the video. People aren't watching; they're listening. They're listening like they used to listen to the radio. John, my friend John Larson, who's come back with me, I think he came back in April of this year. But we started putting pictures up of the places that we'd gone, and I have rather let the FloridaFunTravel.com languish because I haven't been able to find a good webmaster. My dear friend John Scaglione died very unexpectedly, and I've had problems with my slider and some of the other things on my webpage, and I just haven't been able to make it work right. So one of the things that we did is, instead of my putting up pictures and doing stories about where I've been with Florida Fun Travel, I just talk to Sandra, and you got a whole list there of the places we went to. We went to New Smyrna Beach with your sister.
That's one of my favorite places, and we had a awesome hotel
Yes.
there that had, I mean, that's the best place I believe we've ever stayed, where from every single room in that suite, you had a view of the ocean that was just awesome. Each bedroom, the only room that you couldn't see the ocean was the bathroom.
Yeah, you could actually see it from our bedroom. We could open up the
The
drapes
sunrise.
and see the sunrise going up over the Atlantic. It was really amazing. We had a couple 3 trips to Sarasota.
Well, the thing about Smyrna Beach, too, is some of our favorite restaurants of all times are in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Steve's for great baked goods and
Oh,
breakfast and
their
other
muffins
meals
are
also.
their muffins are to die for.
And then we also have the pickles,
DB Pickles,
DB
yes,
Pickles.
that's up near Ormond Beach,
Oh, that was
and a place which turned out to be a very pleasant surprise for me was
catfish.
Aunt Catfish, which when I first went, I'm not a seafood guy, and I'm not a catfish guy. I thought, well, because Judy and Charles like fish, so I thought, well, if we go, it'll be okay. But it turned out to be a great little buffet full of fixins, and all the meals that we got there. There was a great amount of food, and the price was right.
It was really great. The big thing there is you have to stop yourself from overeating because it's just so easy.
Well, I stopped myself from overeating because I just got too full. But they had a nice, a lot of people come in, and I guess that's the Intercoastal Waterway. They come in on the Intercoastal Waterway and park their boats there and come in and eat. It's a great place. A couple, 3 times we went to Sarasota, once for the farmers market, and a couple of times when we were doing our alter ego, delivering cats for
The cat rescue.
the cat rescue with
neutering
Kathy
and
Tincher.
spaying.
And we went to the Amish areas with Der Dutchman, and I'm trying to think of the other place that we went to. There was Der Dutchman, and there was the whole Pinecrest area there that was
We went to their ice cream shop.
and we went to Yoder's, and that was a lot of fun. And let's see. Speaking of doing cats, we went to Arcadia.
Well, Arcadia, that's a place I want to go back, not just because of the Martins, which we always go to Martins when we're in that area, but the Yalla Deli, I want to go back. There's so much, not just the food, but I'd like to know more about that group.
Yeah, and it's. I was always kind of put off by the name, and then one day I said, "Let's go and give it a shot," and I'm glad we did. We met a guy who was very cosmopolitan, very interesting. John came up, and he'd spent some time in Paris and was speaking to some French people in French, and talked to us about many different things that happen in the culture, and the food was good, and I got a good walking stick pretty inexpensively, so that was one of our fun trips. Of course, there are things a little closer to home.
Well, some of our favorite locals, that Frostbite we go to quite a lot.
Yes.
The food and the service and the ice cream. I mean, it's a great little spot for a local. And one that we've added this year is the Poorhouse. I would never have thought that I would have enjoyed that as much as I do, but that's great pizza crust.
Oh yes, yeah, that's great stuff. And of course, another place in Frostproof that we went to is the Scenic Lagoon, and that was just recently we went there, and that's a great place for lunch. I was amazed at that they had chicken Alfredo there. You don't think of that as bar food, actually.
Well, locally, I guess one of the places we have in the past year eaten at the Lake Jackson Grill more than any other place, and probably because they have a good selection of vegetables, and I tend to be more a vegetarian, and their sides are really good, and they give you a nice portion, and um, that's a place that we do enjoy going.
And we actually had gone there first to see my friend Corey Greenway play.
Oh,
And
you're not talking about the grill.
I'm sorry, I'm talking about the Scenic Lagoon. But yeah, and I did a series of musicians. I had Emily Fink in. I had, like I said, Corey Greenway. Did one with, he's a musician and he is a missionary of sorts, which is Tommy Brandt. And I did one with Harry Havery, another musician. So this has been a idea of trying to find a series to do.
Well, the Scenic Lagoon is just a little too much of a bar for me. It's probably not going to be one of my first choices.
Mm-hmm. And it's and there are other places that we need to go. And as always, if you have places you think we should go, please let us know. Put it in the comments below or send us an email at thebarryfostershow@gmail.com.
Probably our latest find is the Glory Days.
Yes, up in Winter Haven.
Wow. We enjoyed it when we just went there, just the two of us. And then we went with friends last night. And once again, the food was great. And they were very kind. We were there for maybe 3 hours. We
closed the place down. We had to leave because they were starting to sweep out under our booth while we were sitting there. So that was a gentle way of telling us we needed to go. Another place that we've stopped that is, I think was I've done a couple of interviews with Steve Slaybaugh over at Strangely Warmed Coffee Roasters in Winter Haven and in Sebring. And if you want great coffee, that's a place to go for great coffee.
Well, and you learn so much more about coffee than I knew. I had always thought that dark roast would be the one with the most caffeine, and I limit my caffeine. In fact, didn't drink caffeine for a lot of years, but they have a nice decaf that's done in water decaf way, and not with the chemicals and a lot of those things that are not healthy for you when they decaf. So I've been drinking more coffee of late, and it does have a good flavor.
It does, and the nice thing is that if you would like to get some, you can get it on the internet. You can go to strangelywarmedcoffeeroasters.com, and they have Guatemalan coffee, and they have just coffee from all over. Yeah, one of the places that we ate that served strangely warm coffee was the Bagel Bar up in Winter Haven, up in Avon Park.
Avon Park.
And that was another good place that we had a chance to try. You know,
the little tour that you can take there also, so you can see how the coffee is roasted and just to learn a lot about the coffee that you're drinking. They'll give you a quick little tour there that is a lot of fun and gives you a great education on coffee.
Yeah, it really is. And I have been blessed with having so many great interviews. I had a chance to go to Beauty Fit for a Queen with Brittany Fan. I had a chance to talk with Chat Dubose from Home Sweet Sebring. I had a chance to talk with Chris Courtney, author who wrote Florida Retirement in Florida is Murder. I didn't get that right. But Kaylee Tuck, our local representative, had a chance to talk to her. Had to talk to Donald Doubleday from Career Source Heartland, and just a whole bunch of local newsmakers who I've had a chance to talk to. And this has been just really great.
And then you also, Jamie, the gal that does the farming.
Oh, Jamie Bateman, yes. She's a homesteader.
That was a really very interesting interview, and her magazine should be out or coming out.
So. Yeah, we went out to her place out there. The Homesteader magazine is now being published. Yeah, it's a wonderful little magazine, and because we live so close to Avon Park, we've done so many things. Jenny Tullow, who has Everything Positive Avon Park. Jane Benham from the Main Street program. Tom Macklin talking about he's the former mayor of Avon Park and has been doing some deep dives.
Nancy and Dr. Seven.
Doc 70, and
Nancy.
it'll come to me in a second. Nancy Fisk, you know, who did the new baseball museum, which is going to open up in February of this year. So I had a chance to talk with them and talk about some of that stuff. But it really is Mayor Garrett Anderson, who gave me my first education in community standards. I did not understand that I couldn't really talk about his business on the air, you know. And Ammunition Planet is an internet site where he sells his wares out there, and he wanted to come and advertise, but apparently I'm not allowed to advertise that. But Mayor Anderson has been probably as business friendly as any elected official that I've ever interviewed. I've been really delighted to see with the work he's done, bringing more business into downtown Avon Park.
Well, having lived in Avon Park for quite some time now, looking at how the city looked and the empty, crumbling buildings that were there when he first got into Avon Park politics, and to see how he loves the city and how it's changed. I mean, this place is growing, and you have buildings now with businesses that are just booming.
Yeah, it is a wonderful thing to see how that is beginning to come back slowly but surely, and it's another one of the series that we've done. I guess Avon Park and the people that we did and people who are still going to do to bringing back life to the city of charm here. But
the other interview you did was with the museum there.
The Historical Society Museum?
No, the museum.
Oh, Galen Thomas and the Peter Paul Roberts Museum of Fine Arts, which, by the way, is right across the street from the Historical Society.
And it was very fascinating. I had never been up there, but the way it's displayed, the art, and the story behind the author there is just really very amazing.
That was a great interview. That was during one of the Main Street Hometown Hangouts, and I had planned that to be a live interview. And one of the things that I learned how to do this year, and I'm going to continue to do next year, is more live performances. John and I did a Tea Party live performance, and we had a spare microphone that one of our guests carried around, and people would ask questions from the audience. It was kind of like a call-in show. And then we went out to the Sea Services Museum and did a live program out there as well. And I think that what we're going to try to do is do more live shows, either in front of an audience or at a festival where people can come up and talk to us and ask us questions. I think that will be a lot more interactive. I think another thing that I want to try to do this coming year is get back to what we did before, have a live show where we can have call-ins. And I have a phone number set up. I have the board set up to where I can plug in and do interviews over the phone, or I can answer the phone and do call-ins. So we're going to see if we can try next year to begin to do some live shows where we have callers in, like in the olden days, and more live shows in front of an audience or regular people. You know, I think that is going to be something that I'm going to aim to try to do this year. And we really have, in the past 7.5 months, I have been humbled and astonished to see how the program has come on. We've got hundreds of subscribers now. We got thousands of views, and all kinds of different programs. It's still growing. One of the bittersweet things is, of the thousands of views, most of the people are not subscribers. And I said during the Christmas season, one of the great presents you could give me is to like, subscribe, and share. And my goal is to get 10,000 subscribers by next year.
Well, people who know how to do it, it seems so simple and easy. But I can say that for someone who doesn't know, it's not that easy because subscribing seems to be like a bigger commitment, and you actually subscribed for me.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, you know, there are people who would subscribe, but they just don't know how to do it.
Well, so many people miss John, and I counted, and John and I have about 70 episodes up so far discussing the issues of the day. And one thing is, if you would like to put the Barry Foster Show on your phone, kind of like an app, it's really easy whether you have an Android or whether you have a Apple phone. What you can do is, let's say you have an Android phone and you're on the internet. You go to my website, thebarryfostershow.net, and then there'll be they call it a hamburger. It's three little horizontal lines in the top corner of your phone. They call that the hamburger. You tap that, and it will say, "Add this to your phone." And you tap that page, and the little avatar with my logo of the Barry Foster Show shows up. If you are doing the same thing with an iPhone, you just go to the barryfostershow.net, and there'll be a little square with an arrow sticking straight up out of the middle of it, and you tap that, and it gives you a number of different options. And one is add this page to your phone, and you tap that, and it'll come up. And then every time you want to go to the page, you just tap that little icon. It goes to the barryfostershow.net, and you can tap the Facebook page and go to the Facebook page, or you can tap the Instagram and go to the Instagram, or that little red square with a white vector, that's the YouTube. You touch that and it goes right to my YouTube channel, and you can pick any of the episodes you want and listen to them whenever you feel like. Used to that if you didn't listen between 8 and 10, it was gone. And, I missed your show today. Well, now you don't have to miss another one. And if there's ones that you want to go back to and listen again, or tell your friends, like, you should have heard the one that he did with Chad Dubose about the history of Sebring. Well, it's there. You want to hear the one about Ken Breslauer talking about Florida roadside attractions in the 60s and 70s. It's called Florida Roadside Attractions Pre-Disney. You can go up there. If you're a race fan, I have interviews with Charles Mendez and Dave Coward, who were race drivers and race promoters. I have Bruce Behrens, who drove in the race here. I had Bill Boyer, who was the local guy, had a Highlands racing team, and we're going to continue to add more of that. So you can go, and each one has a series. If you tap one, the next one that shows up, let's say it's racing, for instance, will be another race interview.
Well, one of the things that once you get it on your phone and you can tap it, you can take it around in your pocket. And I know that in this county, there's quite a lot of people who have hearing aids. And I've said I'm not so sure that my hearing aid has improved my hearing as much as it allows me to listen to my phone without other people having to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're walking or you're just doing housework or whatever, you can have the phone in your pocket or sitting on the counter and listen through your hearing aids, and it's nice.
Well, John and I talked about some of the things that are coming up in 2026, and one of them is America's 250th birthday. And I think you and I are going to do some things that are involved with America's 250th birthday. And there's also events coming up in regard to Avon Park's centennial, Avon Park's 100th birthday, which is coming up.
Well, in the midterm elections, we really want to get going on that because we want to see the Senate and the House to be more friendly to Donald Trump and America first, and to see those things get passed and not have this shutdown of the government just because people want to be picky over.
And our Florida Fun Travel, we're going to start going, we're going to start going some more places. Sandra and I have talked about going back to Venice because it's been a long time since we've been down in Venice. So we're thinking about going there. There's some other places that we've been talking about going together and sharing some of the places we've gone. Some local places too. I think it's time for us to go have breakfast on the weekend over at the Wild Turkey Tavern, because they have a great breakfast over there. And I have been, again, surprised and delighted how many people go to the Florida Fun Travels and listen and comment back to us how much they enjoy them. You know, because it's so much fun for us to do. And again, if you have places you think we ought to try and that we haven't been, you can either put them in the comments below or send us an email at thebarryfostershow@gmail.com. And I do really want to take a moment to thank our sponsors and our friends. Nell Roberts and Ridge Florist have really stepped up to really help us get this thing started. If it wasn't for the Ridge Florist Studios, this might not be the program that it is today. And I want to thank Nell and Bussy, who has been relentless in trying to get me to start this podcast. You know, I can't tell you how much I appreciate Nell. Strangely Warm Coffee, Steve and Jerry Slaybaugh, who've been really, and we talked about them a little bit about their location in Sebring and the kind of coffee they have and how wonderful it is. Garrett Anderson with Ammunition Planet, and also the folks over at Sebring Signs, who did signs for my car, did signs that I display at the studios, did signs that we display at the live performances, and I really appreciate Tina and that group, and her husband, who did a great mural over there at the Grill on Lake Jackson, and we walked up on him doing that. So, Sandra, I appreciate you helping me out with these Florida Fun Travels. In addition to Venice, is there any place you'd like to go this coming year? Places you'd like to see us go?
I'd like to go back to New Smyrna Beach.
Yeah,
because that's fun. And even though since the hurricane came through there and destroyed everything, Fort Myers Beach has not recovered the last times we were there. It's just been a struggle there. But there are a lot of places there that we enjoyed as well.
Yeah, it's hard to pick. Where we live, we are equidistant between the Atlantic and the Gulf. We are like 90 minutes from the Atlantic Ocean and 90 minutes from the Gulf of America. And we like to go and enjoy walks on the beach and staying overnight. So you're going to hear more of our Florida Fun Travel, in addition to more interviews with some of the local musicians. This is the 75th anniversary of the first race at Sebring, a 6-hour affair, which was held New Year's Eve Day of 1950. So New Year's Eve Day of 2025 will have been the 75th anniversary of the first race. The 75th anniversary of the 12-hour race won't come until 2027. So we're going to be talking about more racing. I think we're going to have more missionaries. We have missionaries come by. We're going to talk to them. And more about business, tort reform, and some of the things that are going on. And we're always open to any ideas or suggestions that you'd like to see us to have. And we really appreciate all of you who have liked, subscribed, and shared the Barry Foster YouTube page, and we're going to continue to go forward. Sandra, thank you so much. You've been listening to The Barry Foster Show here on YouTube. Any thoughts, ideas, or suggestions, please put them in the comments below or send us an email, thebarryfostershow@gmail.com. And as always, anytime you need flowers, Ridge Florist. We're here at the Ridge Florist Studios in the City of Charm, beautiful downtown Avon Park. Anytime you want to have flowers, the Ridge Florist Studios at 111 Memorial Drive. You can call them at 863-382-4477 or go up on the web at ridgeflorists.com. As we continue to look for truth, justice, and the American way, it's Barry Foster with Sandra Foster. We'll see you next time.